Should the Chicago Bulls trade for John Collins? Let's talk about it starting now. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page as we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man. First off, I know no daily show today. Had to take Juneteenth off. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to take any holiday, we got to take this one off. But getting into the content for today, because we've heard rumors. It's going to be the week of rumors and the week of trade talks. I love the week before the draft. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just so much going on. The question on the table: should the Chicago Bulls trade for John Collins? And it's a interesting question to me, because you have to look at a couple of different things. One, Collins has a $125 million deal, which means you're going to have to send some pieces back of value. And you have to wonder, right, what John Collins is going to be if he does join the Chicago Bulls and get into a Bulls uniform. How often is he going to play? How much is he going to be on the court? Because John Collins, other than the season he got paid and played a good amount of those games, right, has been a very injury prone player, has been a player who hasn't played a lot of the season, right? And you have to take into account what it's going to cost you to get him. And so I like the idea of trading for John Collins, right? But there are some question marks around it. Here's the first thing about it. You're probably moving on from Patrick Williams. As we know, most people in the comments below won't be as big on moving on from Patrick Williams because of the potential that he could become. But let's be real. The potential that we hope he can become is a more defensive-minded version of John Collins. So you have to ask yourself, what's more important, potential or proven? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think on that. You have to ask yourself, what's more important, right? The potential of Patrick Williams becoming the level of player that John Collins currently is versus the potential or versus the proven of having John Collins in the building and maybe hoping that he improves defensively ever so slightly, right? When you bring health into question, right, because P will be a part of the move, you're also probably talking about that 18th pick and probably a couple of other players, definitely a couple of other players, just to make the money work, right? Maybe a Kobe White is thrown in that deal to make your money work. You're talking about now having the question mark of, will John Collins be healthy enough to play out the season, right? Will he be healthy enough to give you that impact that you hope he does while you trade for him? And I guess playing devil's advocate, right, you could say the same thing about Patrick Williams. There's a lot of hope around Patrick Williams. There's a lot of hope around Kobe White. There's a lot of hope around that 18th pick becoming a player that the Bulls can use right away. But they all have that same question mark. The 18th pick is the healthiest out of the three. You know what I'm saying? Just because we don't know who it is yet. But Patrick Williams hasn't been a player who's been healthy for most of the season. Kobe White hasn't been a player who's had a ton of health in his NBA career. And so that question mark's just kind of going to be there no matter what you do with it. If you keep Patrick Williams or if you trade for John Collins, I think either way, would you rather have the guy who's already proven that he can give you that production, especially going with a Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Vooch is probably still in the building in this situation? You know what I'm saying? You're able to hold on to Vooch. You've got your power forward of the future, more of a real power forward, I think. A guy who's been about 16-8 for his career, can go out there, give you the size, give you the length, can run the floor very well, just like literally all the things that we hope P. Will can become. So that's the biggest question mark there. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments below. Do you feel like the Chicago Bulls should make a move for John Collins? I'll be down there talking with you as well. I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Now, here's my thing on it, right? The question is, should the Chicago Bulls make the trade? For me, I wouldn't make the trade for John Collins, not because I don't think John Collins is a good player, not because I don't think John Collins wouldn't be a good fit with the Chicago Bulls, but for me, it comes down to, is the trade value even right now versus the money that's out there? And what we've seen, right? So Christian Wood got moved for the 26th pick basically alone, and a bunch of guys at the end of the bench that make money work. I think, to me, right, that kind of set the standard, set the market for where the Bulls need to be looking. While John Collins is an excellent player, I think you could get a player of comparable status, comparable stat line, comparable play style by looking around the NBA for just Kobe in the 18th, where you wouldn't have to get rid of a Patrick Williams in that situation. Not to say that P. Will is the one that holds this deal down for me, that if they offered it, I'd be like, no, you can't do it because of P. Will. But for me, right, I think there's just more value while giving less based on what we've seen around the NBA. And especially on some of these younger, struggling teams that have older pieces. Do we really want to say that? But, like, you know, pieces that are 23, 24, 25 that haven't been able to find their way in the system, very much like John Collins is, right? Like, very much like John Collins is, but also without that big number, that big dollar sign attached to the contract as well. That 125 coming in, which kind of limits you in what you want to do moving forward. And Collins right now, 24 years old, set to make about 23 to 25 million until about 2025. That's eating up a good chunk of your cap, you know what I'm saying? And not to say the Bulls wouldn't be willing to go into the luxury on it. Like I said, he's what you hope Patrick Williams sort of develops into, and you're hoping that at 24 years old he continues to get better. I wouldn't be completely out on the deal, but I just think that there's better value deals out there that you can get without that price tag attached to the player, especially knowing that you're going to want to pay Ayo Dosunmu next year more than likely if he continues to develop the way he has. You wouldn't have to worry about P. Will in that situation because P. Will probably would be a part of the trade. And I just feel like, you know, maybe go look at Toronto or maybe go look out in San Antonio. I feel like there's players out there that can give you similar production to John Collins that you can dictate the price tag when that player gets into the building. But as always, man, I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Should the Chicago Bulls be in on a John Collins trade? I love the player. I love what he does. Not a huge fan of the price tag, especially seeing as how we haven't seen him be 100% healthy, right? Like, that's the biggest difference, right? Like, P. Will to John Collins, well, neither one has been healthy, yeah, but John Collins makes $25 million a year to not be on the court, where P. Will doesn't make anywhere near that amount of money. Hopefully one day he'll develop into that level of player, but if we're going to move somebody, I'd rather move him for somebody that's at least more of a guarantee to be on the court more times than not. So, but I want to know how you guys feel, man. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. As always, man, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the links on the screen or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.